21 games remaining. It is a beautiful night for baseball. 21 in the next 17 days. A lot, no off days, 4 doubleheaders as we take a look at the T-Mobile ticket to the game. Remaining schedule. So every one of the 21 games is against a team that is currently under the 500 mark. And what stands out, the 10 head-to-head still with Milwaukee. But Brad Thompson, it begins this evening with the Redlegs.
It does for sure, and a team that I think for many surprisingly under 500, but the Cardinals have taken care of business so far this season against the Cincinnati Reds. 5-2, they've scored on average 6 runs a game. As a team, they're hitting .283. The ERA as a team, they've done everything that you could want them to do against the Reds. Got to keep it up.
It's Adam Wainwright on the mound for St. Louis. Game number 1, the Cincinnati Reds. St. Louis Cardinals. Let's go. 1 run in. Here comes Wong. 2-0 Cardinals. Now another crack at it. It's gone off the foul pole. His 4th hit of the night and his second 2-run bomb. Curveball, and he struck him out. 90 miles an hour on the black. Good night. Colt Wong walks it off. The Cincinnati Reds, the St. Louis Cardinals, and a Friday night at Busch. The Cardinals lead the season series so far, 5-2. Erica Weston, Jim Hayes, Brad Thompson, Dan McLaughlin with you. It is 85 degrees here in downtown St. Louis. And starting play today, the Cardinals are 3 games back up. Chicago, Milwaukee 5, Cincinnati, they're 19-25, 6.5 out. And for all intents and purposes, this is a must-win series, maybe a sweep situation for David Bell and the Reds.
Well, it certainly has to feel like it, and I think that the last couple of series for the Reds have had similar implications. Unfortunately for them, things haven't gone their way. This season, just in general, hasn't gone their way, and I know that I'm sure they're disappointed. They're upset with where they are at this point. They keep the Cardinals, man, keep putting it on them.
Make a case that Paul Goldschmidt could be an MVP this year for the Cardinals, and so could number 50. He has come up time and again this year in 2020.
Well, this would be, if I was handing out an award right now, and not to take away anything from what Goldie has done. I mean, you look at his overall numbers, they are very, very good, but that's your MVP right there. You're right. He has stepped up at every single turn. Hey, look at that, 6.72 innings pitched per game. Innings are at a premium, and he's come into some big spots and needed them. The Hyundai pitch arsenal for Adam Wainwright, sinker, 4-seam, good cutter. He's got a great feel for an old Uncle Charlie. You're going to see a lot of it thrown at 37% of the time, but you are absolutely right, Dan. We know that Jack Flaherty, we know what the ceiling is, we know how great he is, but when I think of like the stopper and the term ace, I think that Adam Wainwright's wearing that moniker pretty well this year.
Shogo Akiyama, the leadoff man for Cincinnati. David Bell, his lineup, and it's banged up coming into this weekend series. Nick Castellanos batting second. He's your designated hitter. Then Joey Votto, and Eugenio Suarez, Goodwin, Aquino, Freddie Galvis, good numbers against Waino, Garcia, and Kurt Caselli. Mike Schilt, the manager of St. Louis. And the Cardinals split the doubleheader yesterday against Detroit. That second game got away from St. Louis. And Giovanni Gallegos has been put on the injured list. More on that in a moment. Tyler O'Neill in left, Lane Thomas in center, Tommy Edman in right. Around the horn presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Carpenter, DeYoung, Wong, and Goldschmidt on the infield. And Yadier Molina is behind the plate. Mike Moustakas dealing with a foot issue. Jesse Winker back, and Tyler Thornburg an elbow. All removed from Thursday's game due to an injury that ended about 1 o'clock in the morning last night at Wrigley Field. And by the way, they lost that game, did the Cincinnati Reds. The curveball lifted down the left field line, out of play, 0-2.
That tends to make it feel a little bit later, doesn't it, when you drop those games? You win a late game like that, it gets pushed back, you have weather. If you win it, you feel like you have some momentum going in the next one. You lose it, you end up feeling even more deflated.
And the 0-2 pitch. Watch out. Slapped foul. And out of play. Home plate umpire, the crew chief, is Laz Diaz, calling the balls and strikes tonight. Outfield shallow. They're straight away. Infield pretty much straight up for Akiyama, left-handed batter. Put in play just over Wainwright, charging in Wong. Tough play. And he makes it look easy. One away.
Colton had to be really quick on this transfer. Adam tries to get to it. He can't quite get there. It's a nice curveball, really soft contact. Yeah, there was no time.
Nick Castellanos. For this season, the Cardinals have held in check the big bats of the Cincinnati Reds. Castellanos hitting .045. His average was 6 strikeouts against St. Louis.
It's really good. You know, the Cardinals did a very good job against the Cubs as well. It's a good look at the numbers right there, what some of these sluggers have done against the Cardinals. Castellanos, though, you know, it's boom or bust for him.
This is a guy that's hit 12 home runs against the rest of the league and driven in 28. Tore up the Cardinals last year with the Chicago Cubs when he was traded over. Signed in the offseason by Cincinnati and reaches out, lifts it in the air to center. Late break by Thomas, and it drops in for a base hit.
Almost a rarity here with Castellanos. Very few singles really coming into that at-bat. 59.5% of his at-bats have been extra base hitters, or his hits had been extra base hits. Just kind of reaches out. A good pitch. They have him shaded really far. I think even if he gets a good jump on this ball, this Thomas, it's going to be a tough play the way that they were positioned.
So shaded in right center and playing very deep as well. Here's Joey Votto. Votto hitting .216. The Reds come in last in the major leagues, a .210 average, and they are 25th in on-base percentage at .311. That is shocking with some of the names that they have in their lineup.
Oh, it is for sure, and it just goes back to the disappointment that we were talking about. They had high expectations coming in.
One of the things that they do, though, is hit home runs. They've hit 65. That's a pace that projects for 239 over a 162-game season, which would shatter their team record. So a ton of home runs, though, in this lineup. 2 balls and no strikes. Inside, 3-0. Suarez on deck. And a high strike. Votto didn't like it. 3-1.
You don't see that strike called that often, even though, I mean, that one appeared to be a little bit above the zone, but the high strike just in general very rarely gets called. Laz Diaz liked it, though.
And a high fly ball lifted down the right field line. Votto with a drive to make it 2-0 and a long home run. 2-0 Cincinnati on Votto's 7th of the year. It's one of the longest home runs he's hit at this ballpark.
Yeah, I totally agree. And this is one of those spots where Joey Votto has a lot of power. We always talk about him for his eye and the 2-strike approach. But if you get one down and in, he has still got that pretty left-handed stroke right there, and you just kind of look at the heat map of where he likes the ball. He's not able to handle a lot of pitches like he could before, but that is still one that obviously he can get to quite well.
Eugenio Suarez. Wainwright made a start against the Reds on a Friday night a few weeks ago. Fell behind 2-0. Then it was 3-0. And then you looked up, it was the 7th inning. He had set down 15 straight. We'll see if that happens tonight.
It's one of the things I love about Adam and just kind of a veteran pitcher in general is you're able to put those things behind you. If it happens, it happens. It's about what happens next.
Yanked into left and sinks for a base hit in front of the left fielder tonight, Tyler O'Neill. That was 442 feet off the bat of Joey Votto and 113 miles per hour off the bat. The hardest hit home run for Votto since StatCast started in 2015. There's Brian Goodwin. He was picked up from the Angels at the trade deadline. Nick Senzel, undisclosed, could be activated during this series. Center fielder has a .816 OPS in 14 games, but has not played since back on August 14th. So Goodwin in center tonight. Double play ball. Wong, DeYoung, Goldschmidt. 4-6-3 on the double play. Adam Wainwright, little frustration after that first inning. And the home run hit by Joey Votto, 2-0. Cincinnati. 3 hits in that first inning. Colt Wong at the top of the Cardinal lineup, the second baseman. The rest of the lineup: Tommy Edman, Paul Goldschmidt, Brad Miller, the designated hitter, Paul DeYoung, Yadier Molina, Matt Carpenter, Tyler O'Neill, and Lane Thomas. Luis Castillo, record is a bit deceiving. Earned his first win last Friday. That was 4-2 in Pittsburgh. 6 innings, couple of runs, struck out 8. He strikes out a bunch. But the Reds have only scored 19 runs in his 8 starts. That's it.
Yeah, I don't care what the record says. This guy's not a comfortable at-bat. And he's a tough adversary. I mean, All-Star a year ago. I think his changeup is one of the best pitches in baseball. Here's a look at that Hyundai pitch arsenal right here. Sinker, really good, gets tons of ground balls. Changeup, he throws 32%, and it is filthy. He throws it hard, too.
He's averaging close to 13 strikeouts per 9. Third in the National League behind Jacob deGrom, who might win his 3rd Cy Young Award. And there is his strikeout. Colton Wong. Tommy Edman coming up. The defense behind the right-hander. Around the horn, presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Akiyama, Goodwin, Aquino in the outfield. On the infield for the Reds, Suarez, Garcia, Galvis, and Votto. Kurt Caselli behind the plate. Edman batting .262, up and in for ball 1.
Not exactly where Luis Castillo was trying to go with that, but highly effective if he goes away again.
And Edman reaching for it in the gap into left center. Akiyama is there to make the catch for out number 2. Paul Goldschmidt celebrated his 33rd birthday yesterday, homered in Game 1 of the doubleheader. He's driven in 15 and 37 games this season. despite a 972 OPS. 260 with men on base, the average, 373 with the bases empty. Arcia, give it everything. He's been getting on base just about every time, it seems like, against the Reds.
Yeah, he does for sure, and he works counts really well. Kind of gets in on him here.
And Suarez makes the play, and the Cardinals go.
At Busch Stadium, Giovanni Gallegos left last night's game with a groin issue. Today, he goes on the 10-day IL with a right groin strain. Mike Schultz told me it's going to be clearly every bit of 10 days. You hate to put a timestamp on it because people heal at different paces. Schultz says he has plenty of good options to step into the closer role, but it likely won't be one guy. It'll probably be a mix. As he put it, it's going to be a flexibility of availability situation. Dan Schultz has some really good arms out there in the bullpen.
Well, they have bent a lot as Aquino flies to the left. They haven't broke yet. But, man, have they taken some hits, the St. Louis Cardinals in 2020, and that's another one.
It is for sure, and that is an aspect of the team that you felt great about it, and it's not as easy as one move. As you heard, Jimmy saying there, this is a lot of pieces that have to interact. It's not just, okay, who has the ninth now? It's we got to figure out the ninth, and then that guy likely had a very big role beforehand. Who can step into that? So there are many capable arms, and just kind of like we've had to do all season long, somebody's got to step up, and somebody has to fill that void. We will see a lot of good options down there, certainly. You can see John Gant, who has done such a good job, see his role expand.
How about an Alex Reyes?
Hey, Alex Reyes is a guy that I could absolutely see fitting into. If it's Gant that moved to the ninth, I can see him fitting into that one, and I absolutely could see the stuff playing in the ninth inning. And we've seen him be more consistent.
On a hop to short off the bat of Freddie Galvis, out number 2.
Yeah, that's going to be the key with him, is the consistency in general. Is he able to keep repeating these good performances? And Mike Schultz did also talk about the fact that they do like how he's been able to go multiple innings, serving in a role like that. But he also said, hey, look, we're not stuck on that. It's just been a valuable trait to have. If he can give us a couple innings one day, great. If he falls into one inning, fine. It's just kind of about the workload beforehand.
Jose Garcia batting 158, no home runs, and has driven in 1. Wonder if other pitchers marvel, Brad, at what Wainwright has been able to do this year at the age of 39 around the league, and the kind of year that he's putting together. You know they're watching in other clubhouses, and they take in what he's doing and just say, man, how's this guy doing it?
I guarantee you that after every single start Adam has had this year, his phone probably blows up. He's got friends all over the league. And it really is. I mean, it's been...
And he's a likable guy, so...
he's a little bit like, he's the best. He's one of the best humans around. So yeah, certainly there is, and I bet that not only just like the awing over what he's done, but I'm sure that maybe in the off season specifically, there's going to be a lot more questions like, dude, how are you doing this? Can you help me a little bit? What is your thought process? Good breaking ball right there.
How did you learn that curveball?
Yeah, you know what? Teach me that.
Yeah, what's the deal with that thing? Brad Miller. Take a look at Brad Thompson's Toyota key to the game.
Well, the key to the game here today, Dan, is the rear view mirror. That's exactly where you want to keep the Cincinnati Reds. We talked about the fact that this year has been a struggle for them. It's been a disappointment where they're at this point, and they're desperate, right? So try to keep their backs against the wall, keep the pressure on them.
And a fastball taken high by Miller, who had a career night last time the Reds saw him at the Great American Ballpark, and he drove in 7 with a couple of home runs.
Both the home runs were ridiculous, too, because the first one he golfed off the ground. I don't even know how he got to that one. And then the second one, he almost knocked over the foul pole.
Now, it was against a position player, but hey,
why'd you have to put a qualifier
so
in
what?
there?
I'm not going to, complain. It's home run's a home run.
That's right. A position player who was likely a really good pitcher in high school, chances are.
That's right.
Did you dig into that at all?
I did not.
Well, there you go.
And he'll draw the leadoff walk. Download the MLB app to get in-game video highlights, live pitch-by-pitch, breaking news, player updates, stat leaderboards, and much more. Here's Paul DeJong. .299 the average. And an on-base percentage of .374 for the Cardinals shortstop.
I wouldn't mind having Paul jump a fastball early.
97 from Castillo.
Well, it's very easy to see. There are some guys that have like movement, but it's tougher to pick up when you're watching on TV. You see it here. I mean, that is boring in arm side.
Tons of movement. I thought the first batter of the game, Wong, I don't care who you weren't going to hit it. I mean, those were nasty pitches.
Well, he ended up striking out Colton on a changeup, and the thing about his changeup is he sells it so well. He throws it hard. I mean, his changeup is like some people who now talk on Cardinal games like their fastball. 89, 90. That's my best bolt.
It's okay.
It played then. Kinda.
Noah Syndergaard, Luis Severino, Castillo, and Garrett Cole. Those are the highest average velocity on fastballs since 2015.
It's actually a super impressive list because it's all guys that can also pitch.
Good point.
Yeah, I mean, you have a lot of guys that are just fireballers, but they don't know where it's going. But to be able to have that consistency for so many years, you have to have secondary pitches. You have to be able to spot them up. It's a good list.
2-2 the count. Miller, the runner at first base. And that is hit fair. Down into the left field corner. Miller on his way to third. Pop Warner will hold him up, and it's a double for Paul DeJong. Last year, DeJong, his BABIP, so the batting average for balls in play, was .259. This year, .383. So he puts the ball in play, and it's doing some damage.
Yeah, good things happen. He also came into this at-bat, came into this game hitting the fastball really well. .349 versus the fastball. He gets one right there and turns on it. Now the key is, again, Cardinals are in a really good situation. What can they turn this into?
Infield in. Here's Yadier Molina. We're only in the second inning at a 2-run lead for Cincinnati. First pitch, let's see if he's swinging. He's taking. Yadi had a tremendous moment here at the ballpark, Roberto Clemente Day, and he homered on a pitch that was a ball and still yanked it into the seats and left.
It was cool.
It's great.
Anything up in the zone, Yadi's going to be serving the other way.
Ground ball, slowly hit left side. Suarez looks back the runner, and that's the first out. Runners stay put. And it brings in Carpenter, who is a lifetime hitter against Castillo. Matt Carpenter, game 2 yesterday. RBI single to center, then an RBI double into the gap in right center. He's got a couple of home runs in his career against Castillo. 6 for 20. So they shift on the right side of the infield. Suarez off the line at third and in. First pitch, a strike. He has driven in 16 of his 18 runs with runners in scoring position. You understand why they shift. He hasn't hit the ball to the left side in his past 7 games. And the 0-1 pitch. 0-2.
So you see Castillo here. He did the same thing to Yadier Molina. When you know in that situation he's going to try to go away, he pitched him inside with the left side open. He's trying to get Carpenter inside. That one ran back over the middle of the plate. He's got a couple of options here. Change up down and in, or the fastball up above the zone. We've seen a lot of chase there with Matt Carpenter.
Big gap in right center. Carpenter, base hit, could tie this game. And the 0-2 pitch. It's a tough take at 98 in.
I'm not sure there's anything else he could do with that pitch.
Yeah, what are you going to do with that pitch?
I don't think he can even offer at that. He's crowding the plate a little bit, trying to take that inside corner away from Castillo and just hoping that he makes a mistake with all the arm side run that he can have. If he leaves that over the middle of the plate, that's where Carpenter's got a chance. Honestly, if Castillo spots that inside, I don't think he can touch it.
Slowly hit right side. That'll do the job. A race to the bag and save at first. Carpenter beat it out, and the run scores, and St. Louis gets on the board. Little check swing. Excuse me. Carpenter takes it, and that makes it 2-1.
Goes back to the idea of all you have to do is just put the ball in play. That's what he does here. It is the little excuse me swing on the changeup after he sped him up with 98 inside. Ooh, that was close. I mean, it's absolutely way too close to overturn.
Reds are going to challenge, and you know, here they are in the second inning, pulling the infield in, and now challenging on this play. David Bell's going for broke. Yeah.
I mean, what else can you do at this point? We knew, and I guess that is part of the intrigue in a 60-game season is we're down to the wire. I was cracking up yesterday. I was scrolling through Twitter, and I see the standings, and then I saw a magic number for the A's. Another good look at it here. There's no way. I mean, that's way too close to be able to overturn, in my opinion, but I'm sitting up here and hoping the Cardinals win.
Jeff Nelson and Mark Wagner are the replay umpires. And he indeed is called out, but the run will score. Carpenter picks up his 19th run batted in. Cardinals get on the board to make it 2-1. It's a big out for Cincinnati.
I really would love to be able to hear like the explanation of kind of like what you saw that made that overturnable, because even if it's close and you think maybe, I don't know.
Now Tyler O'Neill. Cardinals hit 5 home runs in the first game of the doubleheader. One of those was Tyler O'Neill. 4 of the 5 were 2-run homers. That was his 5th of the season, batting .192. Popped up and out of play. The breaking ball is what he's, trying to improve upon coming into this season. He's got 29 strikeouts. 20 of the 29 have been on the breaking ball. And Castillo's got a good one.
He does. You know what, though? Tyler has done a way better job of not chasing those off the plate. Like, you're going to get your swing and misses on the good breaking balls. That stuff's going to happen every once in a while, but his chase rate is down. He's got a better feel for his strike zone. But I feel like sometimes there's a give or a take with that. And the reason I say it, he also comes into action today hitting 165 against the fastball. So maybe the thought is, okay, well, I have to make sure I don't swing at that breaking ball away, and then you're vulnerable against the heater. It's a hard part for a hitter is figuring out where that fine line is.
Taken high, and it's 2-2. And a swing and a miss. So strikeout of Tyler O'Neill, second of the night for Castillo. Carpenter gets the run batted in, and that makes it a 2-1 Cincinnati lead.
2-1 Reds as we head to the top of the third inning. Tough split for the Cardinals yesterday in the doubleheader against the Tigers, but maybe one thing lost in Game 2 yesterday was the outing of Alex Reyes coming on in relief of Austin Gomber, allowing a single but getting out of a bases-loaded jam in the fourth inning. I asked Mike Schilt this afternoon about Reyes' body of work so far this season. He told me the good news about Alex is he's getting those touches we'd like for him to get. Clearly, he's healthy. None of it is surprising because Alex was so good in 2016, but it's really just about being able to get a feel for his pitches again. A lot of plus pitches he has, and I think we can continue to expect Alex not to do too much and trust his stuff in the zone, guys. He says he's getting synced up mechanically.
Kurt Casale leads it off for the Reds, and he's healthy. Number one.
That's the biggest thing, and him getting comfortable and just trusting his stuff within the zone, that is bad news for everybody else, because he's flat out nasty. And we've spent plenty of time talking about Alex Reyes. We know the prospect that he was, the couple of injuries that had been there, and I mean, think about what could have been and still could be of the 1-2 punch of Flaherty and a Reyes. Like, wow. But right now, he's carving himself out a nice role in the bullpen.
Little tapper back to Adam Wainwright, steps and throws and makes the play. Cardinal Baseball brought to you by Bud Light Seltzer, unquestionably good. By Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in the St. Louis area. Find yours at your Mid-America Chevy dealer. And by Steel. Find your Steel dealer at steeldealers.com.
So Alex Reyes is doing a good job in the bullpen. I think we'll see that role evolve. But chances are next year come spring training, he'll come in built up again, and we'll kind of see. Either way, whatever his role ends up being in the future for the Cardinals, he is a big-time plus.
Here's Akiyama. Grounded out to second, first time up. 25 hits, fifth most by a National League rookie. Leader is Jake Cronenworth of the Padres. He has 41. Kyle Lewis of the Mariners has 47. Slap foul.
Kyle Lewis is fun to watch. He's a good player.
Yes, he is. The Padres, by the way, are fun to watch, just as a team.
Well, they sit on like a +70 run differential, something like that. I mean, they have been really good.
Padres are 29-17. There's a base hit. It's yet they're still 3.5 behind the LA Dodgers.
Tough division.
LA still on pace to win 44 or 45 games. Castellanos with 12 home runs. He digs in for the second time. San Francisco, a game above the 500 mark. They're 9 back, and then Colorado and Arizona.
Hey, San Francisco being where they are, that's a bit of a shock as well. Had a couple of guys that have stepped up for them.
Yastrzemski.
I mean, he's in the MVP race,
right?
Legitimately. Donovan Solano's out there chasing a batting title. The thing about 2020, like really at the end of all of this, we know which clubs are good. We have a firm grasp on what we believe is going to happen, I think. But honestly, Dan, at this point, will anything shock you? Like down the wire, in the postseason, like anything at all?
No, not at all. And I think we knew going into a short season, there's a line or two to Young that anything could happen, like in terms of one team or two teams would surprise you, because always in 60 games at the beginning of a season, through 60, there's always a surprise. Now, whether that team holds on through 162 is another debate, but through 60 games, you can have a surprise.
You can, for sure. Well, an example of that, but to the flip side of it, was the eventual World Series champion Nationals last year, who struggled mightily through their first 60 games of the season. You just kind of never know what a ball club is. But then that urgency kicks in. Look at the playoff picture right now, and a reminder, I mean, if you forgot, the top 2 teams in each division are in the postseason. Then a couple of wild cards, 16 total teams. I kind of dig the idea, too, of the opening series with the 3 games. I mean, that's going to be wild.
Is it really home field advantage with no crowd?
No. Yeah, I mean, I guess the only thing is if you're not in a bubble, and I don't believe that part of it would be, because they're still trying to work out some stuff there with a postseason bubble. Maybe the only thing is you have your comforts of home. I mean, you're normal. Actually, you get to go to your house, and I think there's something to that.
Well, think if the Reds get in and they toss Trevor Bauer and Sonny Gray.
By the way, I am perfectly fine with missing out on Trevor Bauer a couple of times.
Yeah.
Like, I love watching him pitch and compete. And, boy, he's got some theatrics with him as well. Like, he is a showman out there. But totally fine not facing him.
Cardinals got to Sonny Gray last time in Cincinnati. Didn't make it through an inning. That was shocking. But they have not seen Trevor Bauer all season long. Won't see him this weekend. 3-2 on Joey Votto. StatCast powered by Google Cloud, and Joey knew it, so did everybody. He got this one. That was measured 442 feet. That put the Reds up 2-0. Cardinals have come back with a run, 2-1 with 2 outs, 3-2, and a runner at first. Akiyama, he's off with this pitch. And that is taken for a ball. It's the 65th time that Wainwright has faced Joey Votto. That's the 8th time he's walked against Adam Wainwright. Here's Suarez.
Yeah, we have certainly seen a lot of him. And they probably feel the same way anytime Yadier Molina does something against the Reds. I mean, my goodness, this guy's still doing it.
Two outs and 2 on. Hit sharply inside the third base line and down into the corner. Dug out by O'Neill. Votto will stop at third base. The run will score. It'll be a double for Suarez, who's 2 for 2, and it's back to a 2-run lead for Cincinnati.
Looked like this breaking ball from Adam Wainwright just hangs up there a little bit, certainly right in the middle of the strike zone. And Suarez, I mean, Suarez pulls everything. I mean, that's just kind of what you get. So on that one, a breaking ball up, you know he's going to take it that way. A big couple of runs you need to leave stranded here.
There's Brian Goodwin, grounded into a double play to end the top of the first. And 0 for 1 tonight. We understand that we will have Adam Wainwright on our broadcast tomorrow, either via Zoom or headset. He is the Cardinals nominee for the Roberto Clemente Award, so we'll talk about that and talk about the 2020 season.
Oh, I love it.
Looking forward to that as we'll visit with Adam Wainwright on our broadcast tomorrow. Wonder if it'll be Zoom, because they have told the starters if they're not pitching to stay away. You go home. Or in this case, if you finish up pitching, take a shower, go home. So not sure if it'll be Zoom or if he'll be here at the ballpark. We'll see. Either way, Adam will be with us. That'll be fun.
For sure. He's always got so much great insight. And he does so many great things within the community. And you see it there. I mean, go MLB.com/Clemente21. Get to voting. I know that means a lot to Adam Wainwright.
Swing and a miss and a strikeout for Wainwright. joined the USO Missouri and the Cardinals, proud to honor our military who serve both at home and away. And tonight's honoree is Sergeant Nicole Eberly. Proudly serves our country in the United States Marine Corps. And thank you. We are your biggest fans. And tonight is so appropriate to thank our military. 9/11. Cardinals were in Milwaukee on September 11th. Never forget it, as we all remember where we were that day.
Absolutely.
One ball, one strike on Lane Thomas. So Thomas in the 9th position, then Wong and Edman. The famous speech of Jack Buck at the ballpark. We returned. And that's hit into the shift. And he asked the question, should we be here? He said yes. And the Mets returned to action in one of the greatest home runs, maybe in baseball history. Mike Piazza. First game back at Shea.
I got goosebumps watching that right now.
You too.
Wow.
I believe the Yankees and the Mets are wearing first responder hats tonight in their ball game as Wong picks up a base hit into center field.
Nice swing right here by Colton Wong. We talk a lot about him driving the ball the other way, but he covers the entire strike zone.
There's Tommy Edman, homered off of Big Mac Land, and is now one home run shy of Paul Goldschmidt. Tommy with 4, Paul with 5. And he hits one off Big Mac Land.
Well, that's exactly how we all thought this year was going to go. Did I mention that 2020 is going to have some intricacies?
It's 2020, Brad.
Yeah. There are going to be some things.
Ball was crushed. Doink.
I really enjoyed it. I like watching Tommy Edman play. I love his approach day in and day out. There's nothing flashy about his game, yet his game is really good.
Mike Schilt calls him Steady Eddie. I've likened his game, or at least his role, to Ben Zobrist. It's kind of the Ben Zobrist of the Cardinals. He's playing all over the place right now for the Cardinals.
Yeah, for sure. That versatility is huge. And by the way, he is getting better and better and more comfortable out in the outfield.
Yes. But the fact that he can play shortstop at this level that's the position. I mean, you can play short at this level. That is huge.
And he's comfortable. Played, mainly shortstop throughout the minor leagues. But you're right, stuff is a little bit faster at this level, isn't it?
Sure. Here's a 1-1. And a ground ball. Votto. It's the sure out at first base. Second time through a lineup, teams have gotten to Castillo. We'll see if that happens here. Teams have hit .333 second time through as opposed to .203. And the OPS jumps up considerably from 620 to 890. Here's Paul Goldschmidt. Rounded out to third base. First time up, and he's 0 for 1. Outfield deep there, straight away. That's tapped foul. Goldie, by the way, hitting over 300 in every inning between the first and the seventh. And I bring that up because he's the only player in the National League to do that. The only one.
That's fairly consistent.
It's kind of an odd stat, isn't it?
It is. They have a stat for everything now.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like any stat you're digging into in reference to Goldie, it ends up being a pretty good one.
He's had a good year. Really solid from day one.
And again, he doesn't get a ton to hit, honestly.
I would think that would be such the hard part of his job, knowing that he's in a lineup that's not hitting for a ton of power. He's kind of being the anchor of this, counted on for the power, and yet is not, for the most part, expanded his zone. Takes his walks.
Yeah, it's difficult to do, and then there is some pressure around him as well. And Brad Miller has done a really good job of kind of filling some of that void and picking up some of that pressure.
I mean, he might see one pitch to drive per at bat, maybe. And there have been times he goes up there, Brad, and he didn't see any and just drops the bat, goes to first, and knows he's being pitched around, and that's it.
Well, he also helps his team out on the base paths. You know, he's one of the best base runners in all of baseball, and he takes pride in that aspect as well.
And this time he strikes out. Third strikeout for in the community. You can as well purchase a 50-50 raffle ticket right now. This weekend, it's open right now to benefit Cardinals Care. And one winner will be selected. You receive 50% of the pot. Must be in the state of Missouri at the time of purchase. Just head to cardinals.com/5050 for tickets. So Fred Bird doing his part to help out Cardinals Care. And again, that's cardinals.com/5050 for tickets.
Dan, I don't have the heart to tell him
that those folks probably will not be purchasing up there.
He's working so hard.
He's done a good job throughout the fact that there's cutouts in the seats, but he has entertained us.
He has done that.
He has indeed. My kids love it.
He's earning his bird seed.
He is indeed. Aquino at the plate.
Imagine your kids love, and I think I've told you in the past, but the only thing, I've got a 4-year-old daughter, and that's the only thing. She doesn't think that my job is cool or that I used to play baseball. That's cool. It's that I know Fred Bird.
Good breaking ball, 2-2. You know how many people have said that to me? Because he picks me off every once in a while. We go to the shot, and he was yesterday Tiger King.
That's good.
It picked me off a little bit. I started laughing. And I've had so many people reach out to me and say, my kids go nuts when they hear you laughing, and they love seeing Fred Bird. So, yeah, no fans in the stands, but kids are enjoying it.
You had me going when he was ironing. And I was watching that one at home, and you couldn't keep it together for an inning. I appreciate
the
that.
ironing board got me, too. Swing and a miss and a strikeout of Aquino. So back-to-back Ks and a total of 3 tonight for Adam Wainwright.
Yeah, Adam could go with a nice quick inning here, get right back into the dugout, get swinging again.
Here's Freddie Galvis. So he was one of the guys that had pretty good numbers against Adam. Came in 7 for 19 and a couple of home runs. Grounded out to short. His first time, 0 for 1. And they'll shift on the right side. Almost half his pitches tonight have been breaking balls. No surprise, he's roughly been about 40% curveballs coming into play tonight.
Yeah, for sure. And what I like about it is how he uses them differently. Sometimes he finishes off hitters with it. Sometimes he starts them, gets back into counts. Also got a really good feel for that cutter, which has been a pitch that's evolved for him the last couple of years.
Two-one pitch. And a base hit into right field. 1 for 2 tonight.
Seen a couple of hits on breaking balls that are just catching a bit too much of the plate. Nothing a ground ball can't fix.
Jose Garcia struck out swinging back in inning number 2. Outfield is straight away. Cardinals did turn a double play back in the first inning. Again, it's a lineup without Moustakas and without Winker. So even though they haven't had great numbers this season against the Cardinals, those are two guys that have a presence, though, in this lineup.
For sure they do. Yeah, impact bats and a history. Moustakas has faced the Cardinals a bit over the years. Winker hits the ball harder on average than anybody else on that team.
Off of Wainwright. He'll gather it and makes the play, and right out of the dugout goes Mike Maddox. This will not be a mound visit. This will be a visit, a medical team visit. Adam Olsen out to check on Waino.
I'm hoping that this caught a little bit of glove, but I'm guessing.
He's pointing at his right thigh. That was a bullet right back at him.
And this is where Adam Wainwright lies to absolutely everybody. Says, feels fine, I'm good. Laz, let me throw a couple.
Ouch. Right above the knee and the thigh area of Wainwright. 105 miles per hour off the bat.
Well, that's definitely going to be something in this ball game. We know that Adams been able to get deeper and deeper, but things like that tighten up quick. So chances are after this half inning, you probably won't see Adams sitting in his normal spot in the dugout. Might be moving around, might even think about going to ride a bike a little bit to keep stuff moving.
Here's Casale. Reds got a 2-out RBI back in the third from Eugenio Suarez. Casale, the 9th place hitter, and looks at a strike. I think it was up to Wainwright. He would have waved everybody off and said, let's go. That's how Adam usually goes about his business. Freddie Galvis, your runner at second base, and the 0-1 pitch. 0-2.
Couple of really good fastballs there away, but I wonder if you're getting to that point where guys are just kind of sitting on the breaking ball and waiting for that. Might see a little shift in Adam Wainwright here this next time around the lineup of potentially even more fastballs.
0-2 pitch. Curveball at 72. Cardinals will have Miller, DeYoung, and Molina coming up. They're half of the fourth. Two and two. Well, that was an absolute rocket off the bat of Jose Garcia. Signed as a free agent for $5 million. The Reds wanted him so badly they went over their international spending limit, paid $5 million more as a penalty. That's taken high, and now it's from 0-2 to 3-2 here on Casale.
Well, in regards to Garcia, if you got a good feel for a player,
yeah,
you go get him. I mean, a penalty's a penalty, but if you think he's a difference maker, you go do it.
Hall of Famer Barry Larkin in the front office of the Reds. He has been quoted as saying, this guy is a future star. They love him. So Galvis has been moved over to the second base spot, especially with Moustakas out, but that's some of that playing time been curtailed in that regard. 3-2 pitch again by Waino. Ground ball hit to third. Carpenter up with it. Low throw, but the stretch by Gold. Subway Restaurants proud to feature the Cardinals fan favorite for September. The steak and cheese sub. It's fueling fans around St. Louis all month long. Castillo finishing up his warm-up tosses. Beautiful night at Busch Stadium in downtown St. Louis. Kubota power stats, highest average this season against the Reds, and there's been a bunch of guys that have hit well. Bader, Wong, Goldschmidt, Molina, and Miller at 304. And Miller's been done with extra base hits too.
He has for sure. You referenced that game that he had in the 16 run affair, and certainly a lot of the numbers and the averages are going to spike when you have a game like that against an opponent, but they have been fairly consistent against this Reds team.
And he shoots the gap into left center field. Goodwin is there on the run to make the catch. A fine play in left center by Brian Goodwin, picked up at the deadline from the Angels.
He has to go a long way to get this baseball, and this is where I think Brad Miller is kind of at his best, when he's hitting the ball that way with the authority. It's a good sign, but a very good play.
Here's DeYoung, who doubled down into the left field corner. Looks at a fastball at 99.
How are you going to hit that? It's 99 with sink. Not getting the call on the outer half. Like anything else, though, if you see it up. He turned around a fastball on his last at-bat, first at-bat of the day, the double down the left field line.
Castillo did not face the Cardinals in either of the first two series. Overall, 3-4 ERA, about 4.5 and 10 career starts against St. Louis. He's mixed in that slider, but it's that changeup that's still,
yeah, for sure,
so effective.
So showed the first pitch over there 99 away, and then he throws one that looks exactly like it, but it's 88, and you pull the string. I mean, it's very difficult.
And a strikeout of Paul DeYoung, number 4 tonight. Well, if you missed it yesterday, first at bat, Roberto Clemente Day, wearing number 21. He idolized Clemente. He said this is one of the most meaningful home runs he's ever hit. Kissed the 21 on the jersey, wearing number 21. He's from Puerto Rico. And a home run. Yachty is closing in on 2,000 hits. And for my money, that would be the final stamp that puts him into the Hall of Fame. I really believe that.
I do too. Absolutely, I do.
Oh for 2 tonight.
Cards down 3-1 as we head to the 5th. Paul DeYoung is a smart guy. He was a biochemistry major, so leave it up to Paul to figure out a way to use his downtime to enhance his on-field performance. He uses something called a sound bed to aid in recovery. It's a memory foam mattress that infuses whatever music you plug into it, allowing the vibrations of the music to be felt from head to toe. Paul explains certain frequencies can aid in different ways, like repairing DNA. Paul recommended Dream Frequency off iTunes for those interested. Danny, it's really a whole new world out there.
Not really. I've been doing it for years. What else did Paul tell you?
Better nails. He's got a bed of nails that he uses. He and Colton Wong, it's not really nails, but big plastic spikes that aid in blood flow and other things that he uses. He says recovery is a key to getting through this long season. He said actually 2020 taught him some lessons that he'll take into next season.
Wait a minute. Hold on, Jimmy.
Yeah.
This is Akiyama, so he's got the music and then he's got nails. That's what you're telling me.
Dan, the frequency of the music in his sound bed can aid in different ways, like relaxation.
Got it.
Helping you repair your DNA.
Got it.
Now, the bed of nails,
got it,
which are plastic nails, helps with circulation. But the bottom line is, Paul, who is really, really smart and tried to explain it to me, I think the bottom line is I should have paid more attention in school because he's so much smarter than me, Dan.
Than us.
Yep.
Love it, Jimmy. Thanks. Now, Brad, your post-game ritual is not like that.
Well, no. Usually I just grabbed a couple of beers and then got back to work. It is, man. You got to take care of yourself, and it is. There's so much different technology out there, and I got to be honest. That's the first I've heard of this one. So I mean, that's good, really good insight right there. But you've got a short period where you get to do this, and you maximize your talents however you can. I think that's really cool.
Well, he's a bright guy. I mean, there's no doubting that. That's a walk to start inning number 5 to Akiyama. The second walk issued by Adam Wainwright. Here's Castellanos, who singled and scored back in the first and lined out to short.
It's a good double play candidate right here. Good sinker down and away. Get a couple of quick outs.
They're running, and a throw by Yadi. Goodbye. Akiyama is the first out here in inning number 5.
Nobody told him? Somebody surely should have told him. I'll run on that guy. Good fastball down and away. Quick release. That's pretty.
You know, and that's a guy in Wainwright that's 6'7", so tall. Does a great job, though, of changing his delivery, and he's not a guy that you can get a simple rhythm to the plate. So they're running on that first pitch, but he's not a hard thrower anymore either. And a lot of times teams may be running on him because, nice pick there by Wong, and out number 2. His curveball is at 70 miles an hour. And that's a split-second difference.
Yeah, no, certainly. And that was one of the first pitch. It was a fastball, and it was also the first time that Akiyama's been caught stealing.
Earlier in the game, a 2-run homer by Votto, which ties him with Ted Kluszewski with 30 home runs, third most all-time by a Red against the Cardinals. They used to say about Ted, he was famous for cutting his sleeves. Seriously, he was so built he would have to cut the sleeves because he was constricted.
Was he the guy responsible for those throwbacks they were rocking last year with the sleeveless?
Similar look.
I thought about doing that back in my day too, Dan.
The Big Clue is what they called him. And then the record holder was 46 home runs hit by Frank Robinson against the Cardinals. With 586 total home runs. He was a 14-time All-Star. And he was so good, he won an MVP in both leagues. I like the sleeveless look, by the way. I don't like it, though, without some type of shirt underneath.
Yeah, that was kind of the thing. It went a little too far.
Yeah.
I think that Yasiel Puig and I believe it was Derek Dietrich
It was. He was doing curls before the game.
Took it a little too far. Now, I'm not going to say that to Yasiel Puig if he was here. I think that he wore it well.
Pitch taken high, and it's 3-2. Lorenzen also, I think, didn't he go with the sleeveless look too?
He looks like he would have the frame that he'd probably try something like that.
I'm not going to tell him it doesn't look good.
Look good on him.
Broken bat and a fly ball that hangs up there, and a sliding catch made by Thomas. Knee digging into the turf in right center, but came up with it. We remember 9/11. President George W. Bush threw out the ceremonial first pitch. This is before Game 3 at Yankee Stadium. He was warming up, actually, in one of the cages at Yankee Stadium, and had all the protective gear, and he was constricted a bit, but he said, I have to throw a strike. I have to throw a strike. And he nailed it.
It was just one of those unifying moments.
It really was.
Everybody's, all eyes are on him. Showed the home run by Mike Piazza earlier.
Talked to Bob Brenly a lot about that World Series. He was the manager of the champion Arizona Diamondbacks. And if you really go back into and watch game by game, Byung-Hun Kim gave up those home runs. Derek Jeter became Mr. November because the season had to be pushed back a week. It is one of the great World Series and fall classics in the history of the sport. It's a remarkable World Series. Luis Gonzalez had the floater that won the World Series in a walk-off hit in Game 7. Tim McCarver had one of the great calls ever in World Series history. And he said, in that at-bat with Luis Gonzalez, he said, you have a left, I'm paraphrasing, but you have a left-handed batter here, and you have a guy that throws a cutter. He said, if I'm Joe Torre, he said, I'm not sure I bring my infield in as much as I would here with Derek Jeter, because there's a real good shot that you saw off a left-handed batter, and you get those little bloop hits that are hit over the shortstop.
Lo and behold,
bloop hit over the shortstop, and that wins the World Series.
You know, Tim McCarver's pretty good at this stuff.
He's pretty good. Pretty darn good. So Carpenter the walk, and now Tyler O'Neill and the tying run at the plate. It was walk number 661 in the career of Matt Carpenter, which moved him ahead of Rogers Hornsby, 7th all-time in Cardinals history. Second walk issued by Castillo. And a double play ball, potentially 6-4-3 on the double play. And while we have a moment, quick word from Great Southern Bank.
Split some pregame pizza 5 ways. Send money anywhere, anytime with Great Southern Bank's mobile app.
Now Lane Thomas, who made the catch in center, as his knee went straight into the turf in center field.
Yeah, you always worry after a play like that if a guy's going to get upright. You never know if you twist something. He popped right back up, though. He was good to go. Looks like he took half the field with him on that left leg. And the grounds crew was right out there. Boom, right afterwards. Replace the divot. It's perfect. Crew works hard around here.
Yeah, we talk so much about the Cardinals and losing Gallegos. These young outfielders getting a shot. The Cardinals miss desperately Dexter Fowler.
Oh, totally.
Desperately. He's putting together a very nice year. And hopefully they get him back at some point.
Dex was looking as comfortable in the box as I think we've seen him in a Cardinal uniform. Balancing stuff off, fighting to get into good counts, then driving the baseball.
He was just a given every day in the lineup. He was there every single day. And heard from numerous people about his leadership through what was going on. You know, just keeping guys focused through the quarantine, 17-day layoff, dealing with the virus. And what has not been an easy situation for anybody around baseball, clearly, but he's been in this game a long time and deserves a lot of credit for how he's dealt with the young players. The 2-2 hit to third, and Lane Thomas is 0 for 2. Bud Light Seltzer, what's on tap? And that's Dakota Hudson. TJ Antone, we've seen him come out of the bullpen, and he has pitched really well. He's looked good for the Reds, so this is a good matchup. And it's our what's on tap. Bud Light Seltzer, what's on tap? .630. And we hope you join us as Wainwright is pitching into the 6th inning. Eugenio Suarez, Brian Goodwin, and Aquino for the Reds, and they lead 3-1 here in game 1.
Bueno still seems to be moving around pretty well. If you're just tuning in, he took a line drive off his leg off the bat of Jose Garcia in the 4th inning. It caught him square, but knowing Adam Wainwright, he's battling through this.
Outfield is straight away, shift on the left side. Suarez a base hit to left, and a 2-out RBI double back in the 3rd. Curveball hit a mile high into left field. O'Neill under it and makes the catch. A reminder that Cardinals baseball is brought to you by Ford, the official car and truck of the St. Louis Cardinals. And by the Missouri Lottery. Every ticket you play gives back to schools across Missouri, so play it forward with the Missouri Lottery. Brian Goodwin grounded into a 4-6-3 double play and struck out in the 3rd. Ground ball, walk, diving stop, knocks it down and can't come up with it. Only way to get the speedy Goodwin was to field that cleanly.
And Colton tried to go with a little shovel pass right there. That wasn't going to work. Does a good job of ranging out there and getting it. I get excited every time I see a ball anywhere in the vicinity of Colton Wong.
Adam Wainwright has pitched through the 5th in every start this season, and it's something that this puts it in perspective. Yu Darvish hasn't done that. Sonny Gray hasn't. Kyle Hendricks, Clayton Kershaw, Aaron Nola. I mean, the list goes on, and those are some of the best in the game.
Well, and all of those same names that you're throwing out there, he's also up there with them in ERA, WHIP, opponent batting average. It's not like, oh yeah, Adam, just go out there and just take the ball for 120 pitches. We just need innings. He's giving you quality.
Yeah. Aquino takes a ball high. He's allowed 7 hits tonight. 3-1 our score. Cardinals have just 2 hits.
I think Adam needs to be a little careful with the breaking ball within the strike zone. Keno sees that bigger breaking ball a little bit better.
And this is lifted in the air to shallow left. O'Neill coming in. with the catch. 2 away.
Pretty sure they probably have that red jacket already ready for him.
All-time ranks and starts, wins, strikeouts, and ERA. Passed Bob Gibson, or rather, excuse me, Bob Forsch, all-time wins list earlier this season. Take a moment, recognize some season ticket holders of our game. Greg Laserwitz, Kathy and Jim Radcliffe, and their granddaughters Anna and Lillian. The Powers Group, Shirley Fox. And thank you for your continued dedication to the Cardinals. Pitch taken high by Freddie Galvis.
Adam trying to get inside here on Freddie Galvis. He's had his issues, as you mentioned earlier, giving up a couple of home runs, OPS over 1,200. But Galvis has gotten extended quite a bit. If you can get in there.
Runner goes, and the bunt up the third base line, rolling, and that's going to stay fair. It's a beauty.
It was about as perfect as you can lay down a bunt right there by Freddie Galvis. Yadier Molina is saying, hey, let it go. He knows that you don't have a chance. And this thing just checks up. A lot of times it hits that corner of the grass and will roll foul. A really good bunt. That's something you don't see a lot in baseball right now, is a really nice bunt.
Teams just don't bunt, period. So here is Jose Garcia with 2 outs, runners at first and second. He was the one that put the ball off the leg of Wainwright, 105 miles per hour. So essentially, when they signed Garcia and then paid the penalty, it was about $10 million that they invested in this young man from Cuba.
Well, that's when you trust so much your scouts, player development. Say, if they come to you and say, hey, we got somebody that we believe is special, invest in him and he's going to be great. Well, you believe in your people. You have them there for a reason, right? And think about a $10 million investment could end up being a star that is under team control for 6 years. Seems like a lot of money up front, but then at the end of the day, if the guy pans out, it's just not.
It's the risk you run, though,
for sure.
Those kind of signings. The business of the sport. Here's a 1-1 pitch with runners at first and second. 2 outs. Special message here from Haley, Courtney, Landon, and Jim Edmonds. They want to say hi to family and friends. And in particular, their buddy Dex. He said, make sure you send our love to Dex. That's taken outside.
Love sent.
and the Weston family. 3-1, and now Yachty wants to come out and talk it over with Adam Wainwright. Enter in the Phillips 66 home run kit sweepstakes for the chance to win exclusive Cardinals merchandise like an autographed item. Visit www.cardinals.com/Phillips66 to enter. Three-one pitch. 3-2. Tyler Webb throwing in the pen. And one way or another, this may be the final pitch of the night for Wainwright. We'll see. Three-two, and he struck him out. Comes back to get him. 4 strikeouts tonight for Adam Wainwright. He is through 6. And the top of the lineup coming up for St. Louis. 3-1 our score. Cardinals are proud to partner with Wells Fargo Advisors and thank them for continuing to serve the community through their contributions to Cardinals Care. So here we go. 3rd time through the order for the Cardinals. This is when the power this season starts to kick in. It's a .298 average 3rd time through. And the OPS 874. That's 3rd best in all of baseball. We'll see if that will be the trend. 3rd time through for Castillo against St. Louis.
Yeah, seen him a couple of times, and the Cardinals just have had very little momentum in this ball game. Only one time they had back-to-back guys get on base. That was in the 2nd. Brad Miller walked. Paul DeYoung hit the double down the left field line. Traffic, man, that's how they're going to do it. I mean, every once in a while you're going to have that game, the 5-home run game like they had against the Tigers.
Wong sends a fly ball to left field. Akiyama backs up and makes the catch.
But I think that the key to this offense is just keeping it moving, trading places.
There's Tommy Edman, fly to left and also grounded out to first. Webb takes a seat. Seth Elledge is up and throwing. Tommy's really made an improvement on the changeup, which was something that he struggled with a year ago. Well, he'll get tested here with this changeup.
Yeah, you got a good chance of him seeing one. And yeah, you're right. He's doing a better job of just staying back and kind of trusting his hands. And even in the times that he gets a little beat, the hands are still there for him. I mean, Castillo's just been easy 97.
Yeah.
Averaging in this game 97.5 miles per hour. I mean, it's good stuff.
Throwing a little bit harder tonight. 98 doesn't get the call. It's a tick or two harder tonight.
Sometimes you're just getting that rhythm. You know, we haven't seen Castillo throw too many pitches far off his mark. I feel like he's just in a really good spot right now mechanically.
Off the plate.
.43 pitches, 95 or above. Get ready quick, but be ready for the changeup.
Hits it the other way, and Akiyama makes the catch. Goldschmidt has reached base at least twice in every one of the 7 games this season against the Reds. But tonight, 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Grounded out to third and struck out. So it's a nasty little slider there.
It is good. We've seen a lot of the changeup. He hasn't featured that slider as much in this ball game. I'll tell you what I do like, though. If he tries to throw that sinker away, this thing ends up down and in. That's where you see Goldie do a lot of damage.
Softly hit to third. Suarez on the run and the stretch by Votto.
3-1 Reds as we head to the top of the 6th inning with Giovanni Gallegos going down on the injured list. That question remains, who will fill that role in the back end of the bullpen? But one answer we know is that it will not be KK. Mike Schilt telling us before the game today, when KK does return, he will return as a starter. He said he had a really good day yesterday and today, and we need him to start, and he's not too far removed from starting last Saturday. So their hope and his intention is to see KK start one of those doubleheaders next week, but the decision for KK to return will be a medical decision with him being involved. But from a baseball standpoint, the sooner the better. If he can stay built up, the quicker he gets on the mound. But Dan, all signs point to seeing KK back sometime next week.
That is huge.
That's big news right there.
Cardinals are going to need it. They've got, what, 4 doubleheaders still remaining. Thank you, Erica. And we know Carlos Martinez returning, stays in the rotation, so still trying to figure out the back end of games. This is Seth Elledge in relief of Wainwright.
Oh, I love hearing that because it did feel like initially with KK it was going to be a little bit longer. Now you hope that everything keeps going and trending in a positive direction, but he has been so good. I mean, especially since being a part of the rotation, he's getting better and better. And not just among like the rookie leaders, and I realize he's not your typical rookie, but he is up there. The ERA is super low, WHIP is super low, everything, and then he brings that left-handed element to the pen. Loved everything I've seen with him. So that'll be great news if we see him in one of those doubleheaders early next week, either Monday or Wednesday against the Brewers.
Cardinals are wearing the 20 patch on the left part of the sleeve to honor Lou Brock. Mark Walsh and his team putting those on the jerseys of the Cardinals. It's not an easy thing to do in terms of having a very quick turnaround to make that happen. First of all, we are in the middle of a pandemic, and it happened over a holiday weekend, so trying to get the right patch and then turn it around quickly with the companies that they use and doing it properly, and they did it as fast as they could. So the 20 patches on the left sleeve. Mark does an amazing job with the various uniforms that are issued, whether it be a specific patch, in this case Lou Brock, or the various patches that are worn throughout Major League Baseball, Roberto Clemente, those kind of things. So very classy patch to honor the great Lou Brock. Strikeout to start the inning for Seth Elledge. BJC Healthcare difference maker Adam Wainwright.
Well, Adam does it again, goes out there and gives you 6 innings. The home run off the bat of Joey Votto, that one dinged him a little bit, but overall, Adam going out there and just fighting. He took the line drive off his leg in the 4th and just continued to come right back out, give you 2+ after that. It's a good job by Adam Wainwright, and once again, giving you a chance to win, getting you deeper into the ball game. Now it's just time to get the offense going.
Here's Akiyama. Wainwright, 6 innings, 3 earned. The 15th anniversary of his debut. So it winds up being the 202nd quality start of his career. That's second most to Bob Force since 1974 by Cardinal. And the 12th NL pitcher this year to reach 5 quality starts. And he's obviously had fewer starts than most other qualifying pitchers because of the COVID outbreak.
Yeah. What he has done is incredible, and I love it seems like every game that he pitches, and it seems like every single game between him and Yadi, there is some new milestone that they're hitting or approaching. It's fun to watch.
Cool night here at the ballpark.
A little breezy.
Yep. Noticed earlier, though, when it was hot, a lot of the flies around the lights. That's when you know it's a little hot. And the 1-2. And he did go on that breaking pitch.
A couple of nasty breaking balls from Seth Elledge. In that at bat, tied up Akiyama. No way he can hold up his break ball. He showed it off the first time in his debut against the White Sox. This thing is tight. He throws it hard. You know, we spent a little time earlier talking about the back end of the bullpen and how all of that is going to unfold with Giovanni Gallegos winding up on the IL with the groin issue. And we were trying to piece together some players. There's a lot of opportunity there. And there's certainly opportunity for other guys to step into bigger roles. And I feel like, you know, anytime a guy like Seth Elledge gets an opportunity to pitch, it's a good ball game right here, a 2-run ball game. Got a chance to show something.
There's Castellanos. And a ground ball. Elledge will enjoy a 1-2-3. Miller, DeYoung, Molina. Youth baseball and softball coaches help shape the lives of their players through sportsmanship, leadership, and character. And you can enter the Coaches Who Care contest presented by Nike at cardinals.com/coaches who care. Castillo is still in the ball game. This is our Gateway Honda home run inning. Cardinals hit a home run. The Gateway Honda dealers donate $1,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Missouri. Miller hits it the other way, backhanded by Suarez, 1 away. Only 2 hits tonight for the Cardinals. It was a double back in the second inning by DeYoung in the left field corner, and a single by Wong in the third, and that has been it.
And only 82 pitches to this point for Luis Castillo, and he's got a really good feel for all 3 of his pitches. And as we've gotten deeper into this ball game, he's been showing off the slider a little bit more.
It tails back in, still throwing hard at 97.
There's that slider there. I think DeYoung just sees this thing up, tries to recognize fastball, and it runs off the table.
And the 0-2 pitch held on to by Casale, and that is strikeout number 5. American Family Insurance home field hero Yadier Molina, his franchise ranks. He's gone above 2,000 games, closing in on 2,000 hits, 10th in franchise history in home runs, 7th in runs batted in and total bases. For 2 with a pair of groundouts to third. Pitch number 7 of the inning. Garcia with a nice play and retires Molina. It's now 500 innings in the career of Castillo. This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the St. Louis Cardinals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. Chevy called to the pen, and the left-hander Tyler Webb is in. Votto, a 2-run homer back in the first, a walk in the third, and fly to center. And the first pitch by Webb taken low. Nissan drive of the game, Joey Votto. Joey thought he had walked, too. He thought he drew a walk and then got a chance to step back in, and then that happened.
I kind of wish he'd have drawn that walk. Joey Votto doesn't have as much power as he used to. He's still got that spot. I mean, you give him that down and in. Joey Votto is the owner of one of the crazier splits on the year. At home, and this was coming into action today, at home he's hitting 365. On the road, 085. 365 at home, 085 on the road.
Just turned 37 yesterday. With a few more years left on that deal.
The thing about Joey Votto, and I know things haven't gone exactly as the Reds planned, but they have a lot of pieces around him. Pretty good pitch right there, bottom of the strike zone for Webb. But they have pieces around him where Joey Votto doesn't have to be the Joey Votto from 5-6 years ago anymore. If he can be the guy that gets on base. They're all right. Good pitch.
So Votto, the first strikeout here in the 8th inning.
Fastball inner half.
Suarez, a couple of hits. Single to left, RBI double in the third, and a fly out to left. No one throwing in the bullpen for the Reds. No need. Castillo has been dominant tonight. Just 2 Cardinal hits. Cardinals have been out hit 8-2.
I was kind of hoping they'd want to get somebody else some work at this point, Dan.
Man, he's been tough.
He's been really good. kind of think the fastball right now is how you should be attacking Suarez. He's got a breaking ball speed bat currently. Kind of another odd split for him. He had 320 against the fastball last year. Pretty good. This year 207. Just kind of weird against the fastball.
And stretching out now the left arm and shaking it out. He had 49 home runs last year, too.
Well, he was a monster.
Yeah.
You get one of those, too. The training staff is out there to talk to him. You get that stinger that goes down your arm. Hand goes numb. Usually it takes a little bit of time to get things back in there. Assuming that's what it is. They're checking out the hand and wrist.
That's what you do. You go with the changeup. Now all of a sudden he's got to get out in front. Ouch.
I don't mind tying him up inside either. Make it a little bit more uncomfortable.
Two away. Here's Goodwin with 2 outs and nobody on. Greg Tommy, our director tonight. Brian Shapiro, our producer. Brian McCann and Keith O'Brien. Dan Hyatt is always digging in on some of the research, stats, as he does every game. And the 1-1 pitch. 1-2 the count. And a grounder hit sharply to second. Colton Wong with the play. Goodwin. Well, one of the stories tonight, the pitching of Luis Castillo. 7 innings, only 2 hits allowed. He has struck out 5 and pitching into the 8th. The starter for the Reds, Joey Votto, a 2-run blast early on. Wainwright pitched into the 6th. Has given the Cardinals a chance, and here we are, bottom of the 8th. And Matt Carpenter takes a strike. Carpenter, O'Neill, and Thomas. Matt has driven in the only run for St. Louis. Nothing in 2. It's a little check swing that Matt had back in the 2nd with runners at 2nd and 3rd. And brought in a run on a ground out. Cardinals had 2nd and 3rd, nobody out, picked up 1 run, and that has been it. The 0-2. And a ground ball hit into the shift. Galvis makes the play. 1 away. Cardinals baseball is brought to you by Bud Light Seltzer, unquestionably good. By Seidman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer. And by Toyota. See where Toyota takes you. Test drive one at your Toyota dealer Toyota, let's go places. Pitch taken high by O'Neill, who is struck out and grounded into a 6-4-3 double play. Jammed him. 2 outs.
He has sawed off a few Cardinal hitters today. He's gotten in the kitchen of Goldschmidt twice already. That one right there, you can tell Tyler O'Neill just wants to get extended, and that thing just keeps boring in on him. And the Cardinals really haven't made him work too much in this ball game. That second inning, 20 pitches, but pretty smooth sailing for Luis Castillo throughout this one. I mean, he's looked fantastic. I love the way that he's attacking this ball game too. We really have only seen the slider come out the last 2 innings, maybe through 1 or 2 before. Now he's throwing 13 of them in a ball game.
First time he's gone 8+ since pitching against Miami in 2018.
Hey, this was a guy that was on the short list of potential Cy Young candidates this season.
It's into shallow center. 8-pitch inning. Goodwin the catch. No reason to think he wouldn't be out there for the 9th. September 11th. And we're here at the ballpark at Busch Stadium. Chevy called to the pen. Nabil Chrismat. 3 games thus far, 3 1/3, and no ERA. Pitched yesterday. 0.91 the opponent average thus far too.
He's been good, and I really do believe for a lot of guys this year, and Dan, we've talked about this on and off the air, 2020 is a large opportunity for a lot of guys. Saw Eldridge come in, throw the ball well. Chrismat's got himself an opportunity as well.
Foul ball off the bat of Aquino, followed by Galvis and then Garcia. The Cardinals will have the top of the lineup looking ahead to the bottom of the 9th, and no one getting loose just yet. Raisel Iglesias just got starting to throw now for the Reds in their pen. The 1-1 pitch. 2 balls and 1 strike. Two and 2.
Pulls the string right there. Nice offering by Chrismat. I know Raisel is out there throwing. I definitely throw Castillo back out there. If he gets into some trouble, but 96 pitches, they want to be careful with him. Who knows? Good change up there.
The first out here in the 9th inning.
We've seen a lot of them in the ball game today because Castillo is so good with his changeup. He's thrown about 33, 34 of them. I feel like the right-on-right changeup is so underutilized. What a good pitch right there by Chrismat. You just don't see it a lot.
Hardly ever. It's 8 strikeouts in the Reds lineup tonight. Floats in for a strike. Freddie Galvis 2 for 3 tonight. Grounded out to short. Singled to right and a bunt base hit in the 6th. The check swing. 1 ball, 1 strike. Cubs and Brewers, they are scoreless. That's in the top of the 8th. The 1-1. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Chris Matt bobbled and picked out of the dirt by Goldschmidt for the out. Two away.
These are always the fun ones. You tell yourself, all right, don't panic, don't panic, don't panic. Oh, I got it. It's
No
fine.
problem.
Everything's fine. That's how you practice them.
Ooh, awfully close. Luis Castillo, by the way, the first Reds pitcher to throw 8 innings this season. It's only the 4th time he's done that in his career. His career high is 8 1/3. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And a ground ball getting him to reach. Carpenter across the diamond. And a final hope for St. Louis. We move to the bottom of the 9th at the top of the lineup. Colt Wong, Tommy Edman, and Paul Gold. Luis Castillo trying to finish what he started. So he's back out for the 9th, and it's 3-1 in favor of the Reds. So he's never thrown a complete game. 86 career starts, pitched through the 8th just 3 times in his career, looking for that first ever complete game.
Honestly, with his arsenal, to me, that's really surprising.
No doubt.
With as many ground balls as he gets and as much weak contact.
The last Red to throw a complete game against the Cardinals was Mike Leake in 2015. And that was right before he was traded to San Francisco. And then he would join the Cardinals in 16. Wong fouls it back. Cardinals with 2 hits. Wong has one of them back in the 3rd, a single to center field.
You think he's pumped up at all? Last 2 pitches, 97, 98.
Trevor Bauer has 2 complete games, but both were 7-inning versions during a doubleheader. We've seen in baseball this year 15 complete games. 2 were short due to weather. 5 were doubleheader, 7-inning versions. 8 were the 9-inning complete games, including one from Adam Wainwright. The 1-2. So Iglesias getting loose just in case. Swing and a miss. Struck him out with a changeup. Bud Light Seltzer player of the game.
Look, nothing is done yet, but sometimes to this point, you kind of got to tip your cap because Luis Castillo has been all around the strike zone. 6 punch outs in this ball game. He has been absolutely dominant for 8 1/3.
Here's Tommy Edman. 0 for 3, pair of flyouts to left.
It's these kind of performances too, Dan. We talk about maybe the Reds were 6.5 games out in the Central coming into this, but if they got hot and they sneak in and you find this guy and Trevor Bauer and Sonny Gray in a playoff series,
Yeah.
no thanks.
They could shorten games now with Iglesias and Archie Bradley. Dangerous in a short series.
Sure. Going back to the key to the game early. Keep them in the rearview mirror.
Yeah. Couple of hops hit to short on the button. 2 outs stretched by Votto. Well, this is exactly what David Bell needed after a long night. Tough loss at Wrigley. Probably got to St. Louis 3 or 4 in the morning, which is part of baseball. That's done over a normal season. It happens all the time, but they are in desperate need of a win, and they may get one with a complete game. We'll see. Paul Goldschmidt twice is grounded out to third and struck out. One ball and one strike. Cardinals trying to find any way to get him up at first base, with Miller having one more crack at it.
Castillo's done that a couple of times now to Goldschmidt. Got him inside. Got him to ground out a couple of times. That's the hard part, too, in these situations. He knows that he's up against it. He knows he's got to get this guy right here, so he can't toy around much.
And now 3-2. Full count delivery. And he walked him. Boy, that's a tough take there. Does not go Castillo's way, and the tying run will come to the plate in Brad Miller. Pitch count at 110. Decision time for David Bell. Oh.
Well, they got it to Brad Miller somehow, some way. You said it. That is a pitch that home plate umpire Laz Diaz has called a strike multiple times in this ball game. And let's hope it has further implications than just one more batter.
And a strike to Miller. Shift on the right side, playing behind Goldschmidt with Miller up. Hit one to deep left center. The second time up, he's walked and scored. Puts it in play. Castillo bobbles it and out at first. And clearly the Cardinals will take a look at it. They're celebrating in the Reds dugout. If it holds, it's the first complete game for Castillo. He is out, and the Reds will take game one by the final of 3-1. The first ever complete game for Luis Castillo.
Sometimes you just got to give credit where credit was due. Castillo was fantastic. Cardinals couldn't get anything going. Congratulations to that young man.
It'll be the post-game show next tomorrow night.